Hey everybody, welcome back. Posing a question, and this comes out of all of the debunking that I've been doing just recently, talking about the whole September 24th fiasco and Simpsons predicting the end of the world and all the other nonsense, red heifer prophecy and so on and so forth. This is done primarily, it's pushed really hard by a lot of channels, a lot of social media, prepper channels and Christian channels particularly, unfortunately, because it's profitable. But why is it so profitable? Why is it that so many people are drawn to that they want to see that? And then if you say anything opposite of it, like if you go back and you look at those videos I've just done recently, there was a lot of people that were like, hey, thanks for being logical about this, but there were just as many people that were nasty and aggressive about it, telling me I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a false prophet for not thinking that a massive world-shaking disaster was going to take place because Friedrich Merz said the wrong date in a speech, so on and so forth. You get the idea. If you've been watching long enough, you've seen those videos, you know what I'm talking about. But they hammered me, and I put out the challenge. I said, hey, on the 25th, I'll put out a video. I'll either apologize for being wrong or I'm going to call it out. And I bet you no one that had anything negative to say apologized. Guess what? No one that had anything negative to say turned up in those comment sections. They had nothing to say now. But why is it when you look into the prepper community, they wouldn't be able to get away with it? These prepper channels and these like Christian prophecy channels or whatever, and of course that's not all Christians, but you know, it's enough of them that it's a problem. They couldn't do this if there wasn't an audience for it. So why? And here's the question, and it's a question you can ask yourself. It's hypothetical. Why is it that it seems so many preppers want to see the world burn? What's the attraction? Why do they want that? Now, if I was going to speculate about it, I would say that one of the main reasons is, I know for myself, and with most people, they really just want to be left the hell alone. They don't want government micromanaging them. They don't want Big Brother looking over their shoulder. They don't want Amazon or Alexa looking over their shoulder and picking through everything and trying to sell them crap all day. They don't want to pay taxes to a system with no oversight that's bad stewards of the money that they take from you without your consent, and so on and so on. I think a lot of people are really hoping that something would jump off just so that they could have a reset. They think, oh, if some massive disaster happened that changed the face of the globe, I could go all the way back to square one. That if there was a huge solar flare and it wiped out all those computer records, I'm not on anybody's credit card registry, the IRS doesn't know who I am anymore, whatever it is, that if all those records were lost, I could get back to basics. I could start from square one. But do you really want that? You know, is that something that would really be desirable?
I mean, I know for me, in a lot of regards, in a lot of instances, I do. No, and I mean,
I know what you mean.
Because you just want to live and you don't want to be bothered by the media, social media. You won't have any mortgage payment over your head. Like you said, the taxes, the IRS, credit card, car payments, and all of that stuff. It'll be almost like living in the 17 and 1800s where you found a plot of land, you went down to the county or the local surveyor, you paid, you got your deed, and you were done. You didn't pay taxes on it yearly that constantly went up for splosh.
They didn't,
and all of that mess.
That's a Georgia thing, though, by the way, splosh. I don't think they do that in every state.
Yeah, but then you think about it, and you prep, and you got, you know, your food, and you watch the videos, and they tell you how to cook, and you don't smell anything, and use Crisco for a 72-hour candle, but do you really want to live with no power?
It sounds romantic,
Yeah.
but there's very few people that could actually do that.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times on this channel I've invited people to do a camp out that way, do a blackout weekend even, where you don't use your electricity, you don't use your water, things like that, and just see what that actually looks like. Not only that, but somebody is going to form up some type of government. Don't think the government's going to go away because it was a solar flare.
Yeah.
They've prepared for that on their end. They'll keep records. They'll have something so that they can fire up again.
You say that about the blackout weekend, and it made me think about. I never thought about it until just now. When I was in the military and we went in the field, and it was sometimes where we didn't have the generators, and you had to stay out there, and maybe we stayed in our trucks. Sometimes you pitched up a little tent outside or a little whatever, or your little poncho liner, and it was okay because in 2 weeks, 5 days, 3 days, we going back inside. And you laughing, but that's your mindset. So you put it in your mind, so it's not that bad.
Temporary.
And if you go on a blackout weekend, yeah, it might suck a little bit, but in your mind, okay, it's Friday, Sunday night, sundown. I'm going back home, so I just got to suck it up for a day and a half.
Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah, and that's a good point also.
Yeah,
but I mean, you should experiment with it, but do you really want to live like that full time?
Yeah.
The human race has gotten very comfortable. Very comfortable. So what would it be like to have no electricity for the next 16 years?
Yeah. Even
stuff
6
like that.
months, you have a solar flare and it hits you, and the power company can't get everything up and running. It takes them about 6 months.
Yeah.
It
could. Look what happened in Puerto Rico when the power went down a couple of years back, and what a disaster that was. And all they did was cry about it. And they're more rural than most people in the United States.
Yeah, they already got a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And how trained are you and how ready are you? There's people that you think they're ready, and then they're really not. The story that comes to mind is, you remember that one emergency medical training officer, the guy who was the tourniquet expert?
Oh yeah.
And he was the one that trained soldiers how to put tourniquets on, and he got injured on the field and improperly applied his own tourniquet and killed himself. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How ready are you really? It's an important question to ask yourself. But, back to the point of why it is. It's like, geez, you think they want the sky to fall. I think a lot of people do, because they're just tired of the direction things are going in.
Yeah.
Change isn't always a good thing. As a matter of fact, most of the time, it can be kind of a negative thing, but you're just compelled to deal with it. And you get used to it after a while. You just suck it up. Like the TSA, that was a bad idea. It was badly orchestrated. It still to this day doesn't work right, but nobody protested it. If people stopped going to the airport, if they even picked one day where collectively you could rely on even half the people that would normally fly to cooperate, we're not going to fly on Wednesday. That would be enough. Most of these airlines are on the brink of bankruptcy as it is. That would be enough for them to put pressure on the government to back that mess off. Nobody fought. And now we're stuck with it permanently. Show me the terrorists that they've stopped. Where are they? People get too comfortable too easily with... You'd be surprised how much hardship people can suck up. You ask yourself, how can they live like that in North Korea? They got used to it.
Yeah.
They got used to it, and they rarely or hardly, if ever, know the difference. And that's all it takes. People wait around long enough, the up-and-coming generation doesn't know the difference anymore. It's normal to them. What are you complaining about, you old fogey? And again, that's why now that I'm older, I understand why old folks were grumpy when I was growing up. why they were always pissed off, because they had so much taken from them and they could see it in real time fading away, and we can see it in real time fading away. And there's again a romanticism to the idea of something happening that puts us back to go on the Monopoly board of life so that we can go around again, maybe on our own terms, maybe for the first time. There's something about it that seems kind of charming. But then again, could you really handle that? How many people can really handle that? How many people, even though they want it, again, be careful what you wish for, once they got it, would be happy?
Yeah.
It's a lot to think about.
I think everybody think they're going to be Rick from The Walking Dead. They're going to be the leader of this ragtag group that just comes together and you fight off zombies and marauders, and everything is going to go well. And
a lot of those shows do help to romanticize the idea too.
Yeah, because you had that and Jericho, Jeremiah, a lot of those shows like that.
Jericho was a lot more realistic in it, though. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, I think it was only one season, right?
Yeah, they cut that show off.
It got canceled as soon as they brought the government into it. But it was in all 50 states, a dirty bomb went off. It was like an orchestrated strike of a nuclear weapon in all 50 states in a state capital. And Jericho was isolated for that reason. Well, once a few months later, within a year, suddenly the government is rolling in with National Guard troops and IRS agents and social workers and stuff, getting their infrastructure back up and running because they were ready for that. What derailed the show is that the show implied that it was a red flag. Yeah. That the government knew it was going to happen and even helped, just so that they could do a reset on their terms. But don't think that they won't come rolling through one day just because the world allegedly ended. So you never know what's going to happen. But in my personal opinion, like I said, I think the reason why so many preppers seem to want the end and why they're so attracted to those kind of prophecies, and when like certain prepping channels are like, oh, this looks like it could be it, folks, get ready, and I hope your preps are ready, and instead of just talking about prepping, they've caught into the idea that, okay, you know what, this is what sells because a lot of people really actually want this. And ad revenue, folks, I may as well make that money.
I mean, you get on YouTube, to share your knowledge, but honestly, your good knowledge, nobody want to watch that. But if you talk about doom and gloom and the world is going to end in 2 days,
oh yeah, you get millions.
You get millions of views. Yeah. So now you're getting ad revenue, and that little YouTube check feel good in your pocket.
Yeah, and then your book is starting to sell.
Yeah, and now you're getting sponsors, and you got flashlights you trying to push, and protein powder and all kinds of stuff.
I've turned a few of those down.
Yeah.
I've gotten 3 for flashlights, 2 for headlamps, 1 for fire starting stuff, and I think 1 for food. And it's like, was that food? Was it the survival food or the I forget if it was a bucket or pouches, but it wasn't stuff I would use. I don't want to sell somebody a $90 flashlight. That's outrageous. I wouldn't pay that. I'll take it if you give it to me, but I'm not going to buy one. You see what I mean? But it's out there. I bet you I'd be like one of those YouTube stars too if I took that. Oh
yeah, you'd get millions of views.
Yeah, they'd see to it. I'd be in with the in crowd.
Yeah.
But I'll just throw it out there, guys. Do you have an opinion as to why you think it is that a lot of people in the prepping community would really like to see that happen? Another aspect is also there are that handful of people, that one small group of people that lifestyle to them, they think it would be exciting because they're chomping at the bit to rape, murder, and pillage.
Oh yeah, you got people that can't wait to kill somebody. And they want to do it legally and not be looked at as evil. They want to run up into somebody's house and rape up all the women and kids.
And burn the house down and steal things and shoot people and stuff. There's a, and that's rare. But there are people out there like that.
Yeah.
That to them, that concept is enticing to them. It's exciting. They're like, yeah, I can run around, do whatever the hell I want, kill whoever I want. And I've done a video on that actually, Preppers versus Marauders. I did that video a couple years back. That you may think so, but you may get away with it for a little while, but you're putting a target on your back. There's only so much of that a community is going to deal with.
Not unless you hit that right person first, and you get to that one guy.
If you know who it is.
And they like, we ain't having this, and they chop your head off.
Yeah.
So.
But again, thoughts. What do you think, guys? What do you think about that? Tell us what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up. The rumor has it, according to YouTube, that helps with the analysis with the algorithm. I don't believe that. I think that's a lie, but we appreciate it. Share it if you can, subscribe if you knew all that good stuff. If you saw random pictures of cats and you're new to the channel and you're wondering what the hell is that all about, they're strays that my wife and I take care of. We take care of a lot of stray animals. If you wanted to help the channel out, or the cats for that matter, there are links for that down below. Every little bit helps and we sure do appreciate it. And if that's it, then what more can I say? But stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.